The following message is transmitted at the request of the Cape Coral Police Department. An unusual situation is currently taking place in the Gulf water at Cape Coral. It has been found that the water has turned to a green color, and some dead fish are being washed up. It is believed that this is some sort of algae bloom, but that cannot be confirmed at this time. As a precaution, all citizens residing in Cape Coral are strongly discouraged to swim in the ocean water. If you swim in the water, you could risk getting yourself sick. Stay tuned to this channel for updates on this unusual situation.
The Jeffy Puppet is now on sale, so go get yours today at smlmerch.com.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Florida Emergency Management Agency, along with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. The source of the water situation, as well as the culprits, have been identified. Sugar as well as cattle and ranching companies are draining their waste into Lake Okeechobee, and that water is being carried into the Atlantic Ocean and Gulf of Mexico. The algae in the water has been growing, leading to a bloom. As a precaution, all beaches in southern Florida, as well as Lake Okeechobee, are closed until further notice, and no one is allowed on them, except for scientists and others working to prevent this bloom. The Florida Emergency Management Agency as well as the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission are working on a plan to prevent this bloom from worsening. Stay tuned for updates on this situation.
But just as powerful as tornadoes themselves are the beliefs they spawn in survival.
Civil danger warning for the entire state of Florida. The following message is transmitted at the request of the state of Florida and the Centers for Disease Control. The algae bloom has worsened and is spread throughout the entire state of Florida. This now means that all beaches in Florida and Lake Okeechobee are closed to the public until further notice. Additionally, a new mysterious disease has been spotted after people made contact with the water and algae. The symptoms for this virus include, but are not limited to, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, coughing, fatigue, fever of 103 or higher, headaches, and difficulty of breathing. If you or your loved ones have one or more of these symptoms, call 911 or drive to the nearest hospital immediately. The CDC is researching this virus, and it will take time to make a cure. Stay tuned for updates on this dangerous situation.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency has set up evacuation routes to go west or north. To see your evacuation route, go to www.fema.gov. This is the current forecast for Hurricane Michael. Tonight, heavy rainfall with winds of up to 50 miles per hour. Tomorrow, Hurricane Michael is expected to make landfall in northern Florida. Winds of 120 miles per hour or more. Tornadoes are expected. The National Weather Service in Tallahassee has issued a hurricane warning for the entire northwest coast of Florida. Beginning now and ending on October 11th at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. Hurricane Michael is expected to be a destructive hurricane when it hits landfall, which is expected within the next 18 hours. It is currently a Category 4 storm, and is still intensifying. Hazard, hurricane. Impact. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without a sturdy shelter, and flooding and storm surge will impact low-lying areas. Tornadoes are likely, but not fully expected. trees will be uprooted, and mobile homes will be damaged or completely destroyed. Those who are not planning to evacuate, you are putting your life in extreme danger. An update will be transmitted once the storm passes. Stay tuned for further updates.
Sure. So you can see, home after home, what was a home just flattens. So many of the homes I'm looking at made of wood, and when you think of the
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Hurricane Michael has passed through the area, and people are free to leave their shelters. However, many areas are filled with debris from the storm. Also, this storm seemed to not have any effect on the current algae bloom, and the algae still pose a big threat to the ocean's ecosystem, and to humans, as the disease is still around. The symptoms for this disease now include, but are not limited to, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, fever of 103 or higher, extremely painful headaches, violent behavior, and eventually cardiac arrest. If you or your loved ones experience one or more of these symptoms, call 911 immediately. Since a lot of hospitals have been damaged or destroyed by the storm, the Federal Emergency Management Agency is setting up storm and sick shelters across the state of Florida. To find a shelter, search up www.fema.gov to find a storm or sick shelter. More updates on the disease will be broadcasted through the emergency alert system. The CDC is working on developing a vaccine to this virus, but it is extremely difficult and will need some time to develop. Stay tuned for updates on this dangerous situation.
She's hot but psycho, so let pushes right go.